Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, the second video of the day, and I promise you, we'll speak only about Leipzig, Juventus. We'll not speak about the other topics, only us, only Champions League, only Leipzig, Juve, and that's why in today's video we'll debrief the press conference of Andrea Cambiaso that spoke first, and THIAGO Motta that spoke after Andrea, and it was a really beautiful one. But seriously, I really appreciate it. I listened to it twice. The first time, just enjoying. Second time, I wrote down everything. Sorry today that I didn't retranscript it on my screen. So sometimes I will read again just to be sure that I don't forget anything. But I really appreciate it for two things. The first thing is that THIAGO Motta, probably you watched the channel. Because a few weeks ago, we asked him something. And looks like he did it. So I'm super happy. You will not wait too long because I will start with that. And then the second thing, maybe I will write it in the title or in the thumbnail, or you will discover it, but I really wanted THIAGO Motta as the successor of Max Allegri because I considered him a really fantastic balanced plus coach. A coach that was able to defend, to attack, but still with that balanced plus, so means having that possession of the ball and creating game. Well, I need to change. Listening to the press conference of today, but also of the last ones, I need to change that label. I don't want to call him anymore his vision of football as balanced plus. Put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to make this community bigger. You know it. Super easy. If you don't, it means that you're a bit lazy. You just press that thumb up. Because now we start, and it's really strange because this time we will not start with Andrea Cambiaso or with the beginning, but we start with the last question that was asked. When I told you that THIAGO Motta changed, and probably you watched this channel, is because a few weeks ago we said that in some press conferences there was something that I didn't really like. That for no reason he was extremely cold, but seriously cold, with the answers. Sometimes he was answering with 3 letters, yes. Sometimes he was answering with 2 letters only, no. Sometimes he was not even answering. Sometimes he had his pen and he was looking at the journalists like that. And I said, okay, it's good, it's fine and whatever, but pay attention, THIAGO. It's unnecessary to go and create some enemies, especially when there is no need to create enemies. I know that journalists, not always they are writing what they need to write. Not always they are asking the smartest question. By the way, today 2 questions. Disaster. Disaster. One in particular was a total disaster. But anyway, but if there is no need, be chill, be tranquillo. And today I saw a really human THIAGO Motta, because there was a dialogue between him, the journalist, and even Andrea Cambiaso in that last question, with smiles, with jokes. They were really fun. So what happened? There was a question of the journalist who asked, do you already have the lineup in your mind? Because you already answered a bit previously, I will not give you the 100% lineup, not even a name. I told you, don't get used to it. So the question, the last question of the journalist, another journalist, was, we know that you will not tell us, but do you already have it in mind? And he said, yes. I have already 100% of the players in mind that will play tomorrow, and if nothing is happening, these that I have in mind will start the game of tomorrow. Where the journalist is saying, okay, do the players know the lineup already? And that's where THIAGO Motta says, yes, they already know. And Cambiaso is jumping in that discussion where he says, don't ask to me because I will not reveal you any of the lineup. I will say nothing. It's beautiful. In the meanwhile, also in between that discussion, there was also the question from THIAGO Motta that was asking to the journalist, but did someone tell you the lineup already? Where the journalist said, no, I don't know. Nobody told me. It's nice to have these kinds of discussion. You know, you had the serious part of the press conference, and then you have also time for jokes, for funny things, because it was actually funny. A human side, it's important also. So I really love that, and maybe THIAGO Motta watched the channel, and that's why. Then, of course, I told you there were also some really strange questions. There is, in the beginning of the press conference, I believe it was the 3rd question, a question towards THIAGO, that is asking, wait, simultaneously with Leipzig, Juve, simultaneously, there will also be Liverpool, Bologna. You will, of course, be concentrated on the Juve game, but are you thinking a bit about it? I mean, what kind of question is that? What question is that? You know, it's like, if there is a penalty for Bologna and they can take the lead in Anfield, will you stop watching the game of Juve and you will look at your smartphone or on the tablet just to watch the penalty and maybe celebrating if Bologna... What kind of question is that? Who cares about Bologna? I mean, we don't care. We are preparing Leipzig, Juve. Mamma mia, what a disaster. Then, in post-game, after Juve, if they won, and Bologna, maybe they have a beautiful result. If you want, you can even ask, you won, congratulations. Did you see the result of Bologna is doing well? What a disaster question. Where THIAGO Motta said, well, I hope Bologna will win, but I'm 100% focused on Juve. Sometimes, guys, I don't understand the questions. Like a question to Andrea Cambiaso, from also a journalist, that is asking, you were here already with Italy when they played against Croatia, Euro 2024, and now you're here with Juve. Is it the same atmosphere? Do you feel the same atmosphere? What are the differences? I mean, who cares about Italy 2024 against Croatia? Of course, it's a total different atmosphere because there it's an in or out tournament, while here you're only at the second game of Champions League. It makes no sense, ragazzi. If you're sent by your company, whoever it is, Rai Sport or whatever, they are sending you in Germany. They are paying the travel. They are paying all the expenses. They are paying a spot into the stadium for you to watch the game. They are paying you because you are paid while you're working. And that's the question you have. What a disaster. No, but seriously, I don't get it. But anyway, what were the questions to Andrea? I will not go through all of them, even if there were not a lot. But there were two answers that I really loved about how they are feeling physically. And he said, we are feeling really well. Look, playing is the most beautiful training session. Mamma mia, Cambiaso, Andrea, what a beautiful answer. And you know why I loved it? Because last year, when we were playing only once a week, I hated it. Hey, in the midweek, you are watching the other ones are playing the international competition. Disaster. No. Really beautiful answer. The other one was about, is there a different Juve in Serie A than in Champions League? He said, no. Juve must be Juve in all competition, at least trying to be Juve in all competition. There were a few questions, but not really something relevant, so let's go to THIAGO Motta. The first question was the other coach from Leipzig said that the Juventus could possibly win the Champions League. He said, ragazzi, calma. Focus step by step, focus on tomorrow only, and then the rest we will see. Beautiful answer. The other thing, the two best defenses in Europe. Pay attention to the answer of THIAGO Motta because we are going towards how I changed the label of THIAGO Motta from a balanced plus coach to something different. So he says, that's a beautiful stat. It's a solid stat. It shows solidity of both teams, but it's two teams that are not staying in the back. It's not that they are parking the bus. Complete performance tomorrow. That's what Juventus need to do. A complete performance. Use the ball with a lot of qualities, balanced up front, alert in defensive phase. One thing is sure, he says, we don't want to wait for the opponent, and he's not speaking about the game of tomorrow only, in general. We don't want to wait for the opponent staying just in the back, being dominated by the opponent. We never did it in any of the game that we played. We'll always try to have the control of the game. And then he's also realistic. He says, pay attention. Sometimes it works. It can happen that sometimes your will, your intention is not working. And that's where he continues to say, but that's why we need to be complete. We need to be able to do all the different phases. If it's not working, well, we also need to be compact to defend and go in counter-attack. And that's where I go from a coach that I always qualified of a balanced plus to a coach that is asking, or at least is trying to inculcate to his team, to share with his team, to work towards a total football, a complete football, a football that is able to do everything. Because there is a question about the stats, that stats that was reported this morning in our Telegram group about the Serie A team that is there on ranking number 1. In terms of sequences of plus 10 passes in a row, it's Juventus there. They have 147 times, more than 10 passes in a row. That's 27 more than everyone. That was a stat reported also today by the journalist to THIAGO Motta, where he says it's a beautiful stat, it's an important stat, but pay attention, the most important, the main objective is to go in the final third and to create attempts. Sometimes you need to do it with 3 passes, sometimes you need 10 passes, sometimes you need more passes, because you can't do it, because it's not working with 3 passes. But we have one main objective, and that's why I really love the vision of THIAGO Motta, a coach that it's not only tiki-taka, only playing. If you can do it with 3 passes, go with 3 passes. But don't try only to do it with 3 passes, because if it's not working, find another way. A total, complete football. This is what he's asking. So I really, really love that one. Also, he spoke about Dusan Vlahovic, repeating, you know, must not only focus on the goals, even if for a striker is super important. He spoke about Koop Meiners, that has a lot of freedom on the field. Pay attention, because that's a bit, you know, how we need to interpret Koop Meiners, having a freedom on the field. He spoke about Thuram or McKennie. Why not both? One can play, the other can play, they can play both. Like tomorrow we can see maybe Fagioli or whatever. So he didn't give us any clue about the starting lineup, but he said, don't get used to it, I already told you. It will not happen the way I will always tell you. That was it. Finishing with that beautiful, nice Andrea Cambiaso, THIAGO Motta interjournalist question, by the way, Paolino, that is the head director of Radio Bianconera that I met once in Torino. We spoke with each other. I said, you know, your questions in press conference, I really always like them, so I really wanted to repeat them, because always he finds a way not to have the best question, but to have the best answer. And he's succeeding again in it. And I think that a lot of time we are saying, the question of the journeys are not wow. Well, sometimes when they are good, we need also to underline them. So grande direttore. That was it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow we go back with a morning video where we will speak about how to beat Leipzig, what we need to pay attention, because I already studied some things. Mamma mia, they are dangerous. And so we need to pay attention, as also because they are saying that they have a plan. How to beat Juve, how to break that unbeatable defense in Serie A. Put a maximum of like, enjoy the games of Champions League today. I don't know which game you will watch. Grazie, forza, Juve.